So these days, where everything's fast-paced, customers have unique requirements for their apps, and often these requirements can change last minute. They can change, you finish the app and then you deploy it and you have consumer reviews who don't like the app and don't like how it works, and you get all those reviews and you have to change the app again. So you have a lot of unique needs for these apps. You have customers who want different experiences for different people. You have customers who want to include special effects or special parts to the app, like videos or animations or something that's interactive or forms. So you have a lot of parts that could go into these apps. When creating a mobile app for iPads or different tablet devices, there's a lot of work involved on the back end. You have to set up a database, you have to set up developer accounts, and there's also a lot of front-end work, such as wireframing the app, the functions for the app, the designing the app, how it's visually going to look, and then you have developers who need to develop the app and make it function, and then you have to test and make sure what you've built and what you've created actually works. So for all of that, you need multiple teams. You need a project manager to coordinate between all of those different steps and organize what needs to get done when. You need designers to develop the look of the app and create buttons and different graphics for the app. You need developers who put everything together, who code it and who make it function. And you also need testers to test the app when it's complete and make sure everything's working great. So for all of that to get done, you need a lot of time. And sometimes a custom app can take up to 18 weeks to get done. The amount of work that goes into making an app is really a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. Like I explained, you have the back-end, front-end work, and you have all these teams that go into it. And it would be great if you could really eliminate some of these steps and have a smaller team working to get an app done by giving some team members more power to do more. For example, you could give a designer the power to build an app rather than just creating the visual pieces of it and wait for a developer. Because the frustrating thing to work with developers is that sometimes you can give them your pieces of artwork and they'll tell you it doesn't work, or they'll tell you they don't think it's a good idea, and then you have to go back to the drawing board and come up with another solution or come up with a different way for things to look, not necessarily because it doesn't work, but because you have to, because the coding doesn't work. But it could be the best solution. It just isn't working the way that you want it to. A couple months ago, we had a customer who required a specific features in their app. They wanted different messaging. They wanted different user interfaces for different messaging. They wanted different features in the app, such as animations and graphs and data. And one of the biggest pieces that was really important to them was a custom calculator, and this calculator would allow their clients to estimate the cost of some of their products. So creating that calculator was it took a lot of time. It was a lot of work because I had to coordinate with a developer team to make sure that the calculator worked the way I wanted it and the way it looked the way I wanted it, and also it worked the way it needed to. So the back and forth between giving them separate pieces, and that was just really frustrating, and it took a long time to get that done. And in the meantime, while the developers were working on that calculator, I basically created the rest of the app and the artwork for it and how it was supposed to look. And it took them almost as long to create one calculator as it took me to create an entire app.